Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestling and to another edition of Raw out of 10. And yeah, of course the road to WrestleMania is getting hotter and hotter. Just a few weeks to go now. We're in Boston this week with big stars like Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Becky Lynch on the show this week. So yeah, there is a lot going on. And we started things off with that on the heels of that shocking attack last week at the hands of Femi. Brock Lesnar took to the ring. Paul Heyman declared the overhyped rule of Femi, took advantage of the fact Lesnar had combated a dozen masked men and laid him out. He was defiant in his announcement of the idea that Femi would be the star to slay the Priest, reminding the audience that not even Cena or Styles did. Femi entered the arena and once again stood across the ring from Lesnar. A brawling ensued and the Conqueror attempted an F5. The former NXT champ wriggled free and dumped the future Hall of Famer over the top rope. The heels retreated and Femi stood tall for a second week in a row. I thought this was really good. Just makes Femi to look even better. Lesnar having the fear of God strikes into him, that makes Femi look great. And I thought, yeah, this was another really good angle. As we then moved on to the rivalry between Usos and the Vision, writing its latest chapter in a non-title match. It was fairly standard match interrupted by a break that culminated with a late match appearance by LA Knight just as Logan Paul and Austin Theory appeared poised to seal a win from the Usos. The Megastar prevented Paul from utilising brass knucks. Jey Uso picked the weapon up and clocked with Theory with it to draw in the DQ. Still fuming, Uso rocked Paul to send an emphatic message that they're done playing. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I mean, Jey, yeah, it's noticeably yes yeety, isn't he? We had teasers for Logan Paul and Tom Brady which could be interesting on commentary, and I think, yeah, it did more to create intrigue for Jey. I think that's kind of the main point of this segment. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Becky Lynch then took to the ring to address her attack on AJ Lee last week. She talked about legitimising the women's IC title only for fans to cheer AJ Lee over her. Lee eventually interrupted proceedings, chasing Lynch out of the ring before issuing the foregone conclusion, a match between the two at WrestleMania. And just like that, another marquee match was added. To be honest, it just felt like more of the same. A good promo from Lynch, but yeah, we've had a lot of it, so it kind of feels a bit lazy on the creative part, but yeah, don't really fault the talent. As we then moved on to Javon Evans continuing his recent string of success, defeating Grayson Waller in a singles match, and Evans' victory has never appeared in doubt. The young OG was clearly spotlighted, battling back into match and delivering the damnedest Super Hurricane Rana for the top rope, and then finishing his standout opponent off with an OG cutter. After the match, Kofi told Waller he's not going to get him disqualified, giving his associate a little tough love in the wake of the latest defeat. I mean, yeah, to be honest, I think we kind of got what we expected here. Tension between Waller and New Day, we knew it come eventually, and Evans once again just racking up the W's. Before the Wise Man returned to the ring where he addressed recent issues he had with Seth Rollins, Heyman suggested Rollins came down and put him out of his misery. Then said as a man he has to do what he has to do, and the Visionary appeared on the announce table. From there, police officers appeared at ringside, escorted Rollins as Heyman revealed he snitched and filed a restraining order against him. The Godfather Extreme goaded the Architect into attacking him, speaking of his wife and daughter. Rollins eventually bit and then exited the arena in handcuffs. I mean, it feels like a holding pattern until Bron Breakker's fit, but I think, it's quite a hot angle, wasn't it, given everything that happened? I'm not against it. Before we then moved on to Bayley and Lyra versus the Kabuki Warriors, and it was a big win for Bayley and Lyra. A good competitive match saw several near falls down the stretch, with Bayley expressing frustration over her seeming inability to put the Empress of Tomorrow and the Pirate Princess away. It led to the former world champ delivering a Bayley to Asuka on the commentary table and then an attempted elbow drop. Sane saved her partner, then took a baseball slide from Valkyria. Back in the ring, she succumbed to the Nightwing as the babyfaces earned a dab. Afterwards, during a in-ring promo with Jackie Revan, Bayley threw down the challenge for a match with Nia and Lash at MSG next week. That'd be a decent match, and I think, that's kind of setting up towards this. And like I say, it wasn't a bad match. So yeah, 6 out of 10. As we then moved on to the IC title between Penta and Dom. As Dom entered the arena, Steph attacked Liv, and a brawl between two broke out as it spilled into Gorilla. Back from the break, the battle began, Dirty Dom jumped Penta during Alicia Taylor's ring introductions, taking the fight to the man who ended his IC title reign. Mysterio controlled a large portion of this match, pushing Penta to the brink of losing his title. Late in the contest though, Finn Balor's music played and he appeared. He sent JD McDonough flying into the production area and then watched as Penta rolled out Mysterio to get the win. After the match, Balor attacked Mysterio, then fends off McDonough to stand tall. I think, 7 out of 10. I mean, it's a good match up until the point where he got Balor and he seems really over, so yeah, feels like this story is definitely going in the right direction. As we then moved on to CM Punk, who hit the ring to close the show, ready for his latest face-to-face with Roman. Punk shrugged off Jimmy Uso's warning to be careful with Jey on the warpath, claiming that not a single Samoan even looked at him since Reigns declared open season last week. The world champ brought up the OTC, calling him out last week, admitting he's not ashamed of his age and even pledged to fight anyone he stepped to them, including Jey. So what's he going to do, yeet me to death? Jey hit the ring, came face-to-face with Punk and threatened to fight and run it back on your old ass. Jimmy interrupted and told his brother to lock in, especially with the tag titles on the line. Jay expressed his anger with Punk talking about family and then questioned where Reigns was. He ain't even here, but I am. Cue the tribal chief who made his quickest entrance in 5 years and ordered the Usos out of the way, to which Punk responded by saying the tag champs should stay because Reigns could help their help. A Superman punch followed and referees and producers hit the ring to break things up. Jay ordered Reigns to smash him and get him. He did, delivering a spear and powerbombing Punk through the announce table. As Reigns made his way around the ring, he caught Punk laughing and stating, "I'm not the one who needs help," insinuating that his WrestleMania opponent did exactly what he needed to do. I think this was really good. I think, the Jey Uso stuff's a really interesting development. Punk as the antagonistic smart arse, and I think, it's about time we got some violence here. And yeah, I think it highlights the key role that Jey Uso has to play in this, and I really like the role he played in this. So yeah, for me, this was a really good closing segment. Overall, Raw this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. This was the first episode of Raw. It felt like WWE Creative concentrated on heating things up for WrestleMania. Not everything, but it did feel like it was a noteworthy episode as we built towards WrestleMania. There was little wasted time, and there was lots of big segments. Femi and Lesnar, Lee and Lynch, etc., and Punk came in, etc. A good show, and with Raw returning to MSG next week, you feel like it could be another big one. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.